Jim Davidson slams Sadiq Khan live on air. Here's what he said. Well, that didn't take long, and it's already blowing up online. Right in the middle of a live broadcast, Jim Davidson, comedian, commentator, and longtime critic of the political class, let loose. Not in a scripted sketch. Not in a carefully edited YouTube short. But live, unscripted, unfiltered, and yes, right at the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan. And now, everyone's talking. It happened just hours ago during a midday segment on Davidson's livestream show, Unlocked. The conversation started off casual cost of living, crime stats, a bit of banter. But then, it turned. Davidson looked directly at the camera and said, "Let's just be honest, for once London isn't what it used to be." And Sadiq Khan? He's not helping. He's the reason people are scared to speak up. He's running a city where division is encouraged, not challenged. That clip, now clipped, reposted, and remixed across TikTok, X, and YouTube, instantly went viral. Because love him or hate him, Jim Davidson just fired a shot straight into the heart of the UK's most politically charged debate. Who or what is really behind London's decline? To some, it sounded like frustration. To others, it sounded like truth. Because the reality is this. There's a growing number of Londoners from Lewisham to Hillingdon who feel the city slipping. They feel less safe, more divided, more ignored. And Davidson, for all his controversy, gave voice to what many say quietly behind closed doors, at pubs, in private WhatsApp chats. It doesn't feel like our city anymore. Let's get into what Davidson actually said. He claimed directly that the Khan administration has been more focused on PR than actual progress. He cited rising knife crime, the strain on police resources, and what he called a culture of fear around free speech. Try saying what you really think in London without being called something, Davidson said. Try walking through the streets you grew up in and recognizing them. It's gone. Totally changed. And we're told to shut up and accept it. His tone? Not angry, just tired. That, perhaps, is what made it hit so hard. The mayor's team, of course, issued a rapid response. Within an hour of the clip trending, a City Hall spokesperson released a short but firm statement. Jim Davidson's views are his own, and they don't reflect the reality of London's progress. The mayor remains committed to building a safer, fairer, and more inclusive city for all. But that didn't calm the storm. If anything, it fueled it. Because now, others are chiming in. One viral tweet read, "I'm no fan of Jim Davidson, but he's not wrong. London feels broken. No one's allowed to say it without being shut down." Another said, "Khan has failed the working class." Davidson just had the guts to say it out loud. And it's not just Twitter. Former Met Police Detective Peter Bleksley appeared on GB News that evening and said, "Look, I wouldn't quote Jim Davidson in a courtroom, but when it comes to London's mood, he's tapping into something very real. People are fed up." Sadiq Khan was first elected mayor in 2016. Since then, he survived multiple crises: terror attacks, the pandemic, and deep public unrest over policing. He's also made London the face of progressive governance. Green transport zones, diversity campaigns, massive public health messaging during COVID. But critics say those efforts have come at a cost. Basic safety, community identity, public confidence. And that's what Davidson, whether intentionally or not, just dragged back into the spotlight. The timing of this couldn't be worse for City Hall. With another mayoral election cycle looming, Khan is under increasing pressure to prove that his vision of London still resonates and still works. But this latest viral moment shows something deeper. That alternative voices, no matter how controversial, are becoming more influential than official ones. So where do we go from here? Does Sadiq Khan address the core concerns: the safety fears, the identity crisis, the growing working-class disillusionment? Or does he stick to his script: numbers, reports, policies? Because here's the hard truth. No matter what official statements say, people believe what they feel. And right now, more and more people are saying, London doesn't feel like home anymore. Jim Davidson may not be a politician. He's not a civil servant. He's not even trying to be everyone's voice. But today, for a few minutes live on air, he was. So here's the question. If comedians and cultural commentators are now leading the conversation about public trust and safety, what does that say about the state of our politics? And if people like Jim Davidson are filling the silence left by our leaders, who's really in charge of the narrative? Let us know what you think in the comments. Hit subscribe for more stories that cut through the noise. Because this conversation, it's only just getting started.